Honorable James, again, thanks once again. Here you wish to ask the Minister of Finance, Economic Development, Investment Promotion, whether the purchase of the remaining 35% shareholding of the Guvima mining house was done in United States dollars 1.6 billion, as previously stated in this house. Frankly, on this one, I would not want to give specific figures on a specific transaction. These can be submitted offline or online in writing properly. I don't have that specific figure, but we're happy to provide it. Certainly, these were purchased by Mutapa for a specific amount, and really we want to request Mutapa to be able to tell us what that figure is. Again, they could do it through the maybe Parliamentary Committee on Mines and Mining Development, perhaps, or an appropriate committee, and then they can be very specific about that transaction and how it was structured, how it was funded. That's what I would propose, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Thank you.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
Oh, sorry, come again.
On a point of order.
Okay, what's the point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm aware that the Minister of Finance, it is the one which actually issued a treasury bill that he paid this 35% shareholding, which was remaining under Mutapa. So for the Honourable Minister to say that he may not be able to answer the specific question, this is a specific question session, and I expect the Minister to answer. I'm sure the Honourable Minister is aware of this transaction. He must just provide answers. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Matsvanyika. Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, ma'am, we have issued treasury bills to Mutapa, not just for the purchase of these shares, but more broadly for their use as part of their capitalization program as we launched Mutapa. But this is a specific question about the purchase of shares, as to how much was applied, what are the terms, and so forth. That's why I'm saying that we can get that answer very easily by inviting Mutapa to explain that. I'm sure they'll be very happy to do that. I wouldn't want to start delving into their activities in this house. I thank you.
Thank you. I think the Minister is very clear, Honourable Matsvanyika.
Yes, supplementary.
Can you please allow us to proceed?
It's not a supplementary question.
Sorry?
It's a supplementary question.
What supplementary question do you have?
Okay,
because I thought maybe you wanted clarity, and they clarified that you referred the issue to Mutapa to respond.
All right. On that note, Madam Speaker, the leader of the House clarified the issue of Mutapa to say, if you've got a specific question, you send the specific question to the specific ministry, because power has not been taken away from the individual ministries or the companies which are under Mutapa. So when it comes to financial issues, the issue of treasury bills, it really sits in the Minister of Finance. And we expect an answer from the Minister on this one. That is why I'm saying, Madam Speaker, it is important when the same ministry issue a treasury bill to pay 1.6 billion US dollar worth of 35% of the outstanding Kuimba. We can't just come in and say, then we cannot answer that question. It defies logic, Madam Chair. So my supplementary question goes, 35% of Kuimba was valued at 1.6 billion US dollars. What it therefore means, Madam Speaker, if you do mathematics, it means 100, if 35% is 1.6 billion, 100% is 4.6 billion. How does this 4.6 billion compare with the 2022 Kuimba mining valuation done by the same government through the same Minister of Finance, which allocated Kuimba a value of, the total of Kuimba a value of 1.5 billion. So, from 2022, the government of Zimbabwe indicated that Kuimba as a whole is valued at 1.5 billion. 1 year later, when the government wants to buy 35% shareholding, it then says the whole of Kuimba now is now valued at 4.6 billion. Are we not being prejudiced as a country, Madam Speaker? That's my question, the Honourable Minister.
Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much. The honourable member seems to have very specific figures that he has either created or is aware of. So I don't know what he's asking me to clarify if he's already aware of these figures. But what I'm urging him to do is to get the correct facts. Everybody would like to have the correct facts by summoning Mutapa to this house through the parliamentary committee or some other committee to explain and submit accurate figures on this matter. It is that simple, Madam Speaker.
Thank
On a point
you.
of right, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Madzivanyika, I think the minister is very clear. The issue is going to be referred to Mutapa.
Yeah,
and
my point of right.
then they can respond.
My point
Because
of right.
the minister does not have the responses that you require right now. I think it's prudent for us to move on.
Madam Speaker,
Honorable Madzivanyika, the issue is going to be referred to
It's a very
Mutapa.
important issue. Everyone is out there complaining about Mutapa. If you excuse this out, Madam Speaker, you will be doing an injustice to the majority of Zimbabwe.
Honorable Madzivanyika, I did not give you a chance to speak. The issue has been referred to Mutapa.
Mutapa is not a minister. Mutapa is not a ministry.
The minister does not have the answers that you want right now.
He can come back with answers. If he says that's fine. Then to say that he go to Mutapa. I'm against the idea of going to Mutapa. Mutapa is not a minister. Parliament, we ask questions.
Honorable Madzivanyika, I did not recognize you. We are moving on. For the sake of progress, can you please allow us to move on? Question number 12.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
With due respect.
What's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, with all respect, this matter was discussed last week in this very house, where a length time was taken to clarify who exactly is accountable and responsible for the Mutapa Investment Fund. And the conclusion, if you refer back to the answer last week, was that we cannot expect the Mutapa Fund people to come here and answer on Wednesdays. A minister has to be responsible and accountable for that. And to that extent, as far as I remember, and I stand corrected, the minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, is the relevant minister who was cited. I think we need to refer this matter to the answer last week. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, maybe you may clarify.
I declare categorically that I'm not the responsible minister for Mutapa. It's very clear. It is an entity that reports directly to the office of the President and Cabinet. It does not report to the Minister of Finance. What happens is that there are certain aspects, to the extent that the Minister of Finance administers the Public Finance Management Act, has to give certain opinions, perhaps even approvals. That is still our realm, but I'm not the responsible minister. This House can call on anybody, can summon anybody to explain. If the honorable member feels that talking to Mutapa or getting clarification on this matter is so important, surely in the next few days you'll be able to ask Mutapa to come and sit before the proper parliamentary committee and explain these things in full. The same way that you've invited ZESA before, or Zenara, or some other government-owned entity. Why is it different this time?
On a point
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Point of order.
I think the minister is clear.
No,
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
I'm bringing in.
The minister is clear on his response.
I have a new proposal. I have a different issue, Madam Speaker.
What is your issue, Honorable Amoso?
My issue arises from the Constitution, which I'm holding here, which explains the powers of Parliament. The Constitution says the Parliament has power to summon anyone except the President, meaning that now that Mutapa falls under the purview of the office of the President, then it is difficult for Parliament to